was drawn to the story by the book by David Gran, which delineates this extraordinary tragedy in American history that I really knew nothing about. And the script was given to me, and this was in 2017. And I understood immediately that trying to approach this material, particularly the nature of this tragedy, one would have to do it from the point of view of the Osage, and not the Osage as victims, but as people. At one point, while we were working on finishing the film Irishman, we talked about where is the heart of the story. This systemized kind of racist tragedy occurred, and yet many of the white people that were there who were perpetrating it were still very good friends with some of the Osage. So what is that about? This project was something that, shine a light, certainly, on this time in history. And coincidentally, in 1921, while this was happening in Pawhuska and in Fairfax, Tulsa was burning. There was the Black Wall Street was going, and we didn't know anything about that until a couple of years ago. And so this was systematic, you know. The country was made by white Europeans. When I looked, we even took the book, I said, if you're going to be dealing with indigenous people, I said, we're going to have to know them. We simply have to know them. And so what that means is they have to be with us, you know, and it's got to be different from the way other films were made about them or about their world. And so automatically, once the script was in progress, we sent a group of people to meet Chief Standing Bear. And then I was brought out to meet them. This is before the COVID epidemic. And so once meeting them, I understood that I understood even more that we have to be extremely careful. And not, as I pointed out earlier, not stuffy, not prissy with everything. That has to be lived in and felt. And so in learning about how a blanket is worn, and what the designs of a blanket mean, we learn who the people are. So many of the Osage not only were in front of the camera, but also behind the camera, designing and helping making the costumes and all the props, because a lot of this had been forgotten. Even the language has been forgotten. There's only Van Bighorst and Chris was the other guy. He taught the actors how to speak Osage, including Leo and De Niro. And so they were learning their language again. And the young people are coming back, you see, for their rituals now. And the young people are the young Osage are coming back and understanding now the value of who they are and what their nation was and still is. I chose to do that obituary myself, thinking about my own family, thinking about immigrants coming into this country, thinking about my grandparents who were immigrants who came here and the troubles they had. And somehow it just hit. I don't know what happened. And I said I have to take the responsibility of trying it myself and bringing it back to the earth, you know. But the radio show was a very popular, gangbusters, the G-Man, all that sort of thing. And of course the FBI became very, very somewhat difficult in the 50s and, you know, 60s in terms of controlling people and blackmailing. But in any event, that was Mr. Hoover. But he started there. He started there with the Osage, and he got them. And so I felt, in an odd way, the tragedy becomes grist for the mill of entertainment. That's all it is. And then it's dispensed with, you know. And so I said, no, we have to make a mark here somehow.